Hey everybody, welcome to Michelle is Money Hungry. I'm your host, Michelle Jackson, and this is take number 2 for this episode. I'd actually already recorded it and then discovered that half of the episode just was not there. I am going to apologize right now in the event that you hear a little bit of noise in the background. Hopefully you won't, but my neighbor is doing some renovations. I have a new neighbor, a new person who purchased a unit next to mine. So they're getting a lot of work done. Hopefully you won't hear it, but in the event you're like, what is that noise? It's not me. It's not me. By the way, for those of you going to FinCon or Podcast Movement, I am going to be there. I'm super excited, as well as Lola Retreat. So I will be at those 3 events this fall, starting next week. Holy crap, I can't even believe it. I've got this little air horn. Party is going to be lit. I'm going to be there. I'm super excited, and maybe just a little bit goofy. This episode, we're going to talk about how to get paid what you're worth. This is a topic that has been on my mind for a while. I think about it on and off throughout the year as things come up, and I could have sworn it sounded like throughout the year, but it's throughout the year that I just said. And I felt like it was important to have this conversation because of some changes that I've made to my business. I think that other freelancers, course creators, coaches, bloggers, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're a business person or have business aspects to what you do to make money, this topic comes up. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'm back. This episode is sponsored by the Money on the Mountain Financial Retreat for financially single women. Please note, scholarship applications are now available. That link will be in the show notes, and you can get to the show notes at michelleismoneyhungry.com. Get paid. It's michelleismoneyhungry.com/get paid. So that's where the show notes will be located. This show is also sponsored by Make Money with eBooks. If you are wanting to become an author, create a book, figure out how to market, do all the things, that is the course for you. I made $1,700 last month with just eBooks. I am obsessed. I love this course so much. I'm so thankful to have created this course and help other would-be authors become actual authors. The link also is in the show notes for that course. Okay, excuse me. So anyway, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions at the beginning of this show. The first is, have you ever, and basically, by the way, hey ladies and the occasional gent listening to the show, have you ever struggled with the following? Asserting your authority and translating that into your pay, raising your rates if you're an entrepreneur or freelancer, charging what you know your products are worth, communicating unapologetically and unflinchingly the prices that you need to be paid and have decided that you would be paid, believing your worth and what you bring to the table in a business situation. If you said yes to any of these questions, then today's episode is for you. I wanted to talk about being paid what we're worth because it goes to the heart of a couple of things. Self-talk, like how you feel about yourself, what you're telling yourself, the things that you may not realize you believe deep down inside. I've noticed that sometimes I have a hard time communicating pricing because I have a lack of clarity about what I'm bringing to the table to my boss, clients, just the people that I'm helping with the services or the information that I'm sharing. Nowadays, I don't have that problem, but before I really struggled with understanding what my worth was to other people in terms of the things that I shared. Excuse me. Not being clear on the hard skills or soft skills that you provide that help other people succeed, especially in a 9-to-5, to be honest. If you have hard skills such as understanding technical knowledge that helps make the business run, systems, procedures, all those kinds of things. That's a big deal. The other thing is soft skills. I actually think soft skills are harder to learn. You know, those weird, awkward people who just seem to never not be weird or awkward? They have a hard time with soft skills. Soft skills are the types of things where, say, for example, a good place to experience them actually is in retail or service-based companies. I am a frequent customer of service-based companies with really good customer service. Customer service is basically employees who have mastered the game of soft skills. Soft skills are understanding what the client wants, listening to what they're saying, and the unspoken stuff that they're concerned about. Excuse me. Remembering someone's preferences, noting if someone wears a specific color all the time, greeting people. Something as simple as being good about greeting people is a huge deal in terms of soft skills. So soft skills and hard skills are definitely things that people sleep on in terms of understanding the worth and how that they translate into money. Today, I raised the prices for my Make Money with eBooks course, and it was really interesting because it was very easy to do. But previously, it was very difficult for me to raise my rates. And I tried to figure out what was at the heart of the difficulty. Like, why was it hard before for me to raise my rates? And it goes to the heart of what I talked about before. Like, I had a lack of clarity about why I would do such a thing. So these are the reasons why it was ridiculously easy to raise my prices. I've worked for 12 months on the course. I have literally had students in the course since July 26th, 2018. It is now August 2019. That's a year of working on the course, tweaking the information, talking to students. Like, that's a lot of time that I've put into it. I've shown up daily. I've spoken with students on almost a daily basis. I'd say over 330 days worth of instruction. I've helped students publish their books. Many have received accolades in the niche that they've published in. You know, the beautiful orange bar that says you've opened as like top 20 or #1 in your niche. People are making money, they're leveraging their knowledge. Basically, all of the things that the course asserts it should be able to do for you. There's no guarantee on outcomes because you always have to say that. You cannot guarantee outcomes, but those are potentially the outcomes that people should experience with the course. I created it so I could help students eliminate time looking for answers and researching things. So for many years, I was on Google University, YouTube University, going to the library, reading everyone's blog posts. Like, it was a lot of time to do all the research. So now I pay for courses and pay for information because I don't have the time for that anymore. And that's the whole point of me creating that course. I had people asking questions over and over again, and I was like, I'm going to create a course, and you can just go there, and it's going to hold all the answers. And it's been a very good decision. I was able to create a community of like-minded people who believed in what the other students were trying to do. That's so important because a lot of times when you're doing something that feels like it's audacious or something that other people can't believe you're going to do or they wish they would do but they won't, you need to be in a community of like-minded people. And also the course gives immediate access to all the tools that people need. So basically, once I went through all that, I also had to figure out, like, energetically, how did I know now was the time? Well, the first thing was course longevity, student results. People who paid less had worse results. So the people who invested more, the results were better. I always used to think that was bull crap, to be honest, what other people who created courses and coaches and things like that would say this. They'd be like, look, The more people pay, the more that they will actually do the work. But now that I think about it, just from my own experience being a student in different courses at university, all the things, the more I've paid, the more I'm there. Now that does not mean you should take that as a license to charge like rates that don't match where you're at now, but it does mean that if you're charging like $50 for a thing, especially if it's a course, it's going to be very difficult to help that student achieve what they need to achieve because they're not going to be as invested, and you're going to feel a bit frustrated because the amount of time that you put into getting a $50 student to the end of their, like, to where the results exist, you're going to be pissed. And I'm going to explain why. Anywho, I also researched other courses. So, you know, I was sitting there like, like, I feel like it's time to raise my rates. I researched other courses and realized that I was way undercharging comparatively speaking. I also got feedback from other people about my offerings, and they were like, this part of what you do is way undercharged. And I was like, ooh, but I had already felt that way. So if you are a creator of some sort, a business person, online facing entrepreneur, you provide a service course, that kind of thing, if you're feeling like it is undercharged, it probably is. And then I'm gonna be honest, I would become a little frustrated with the amount of work that it took to help some students to get to the results that they needed, especially based on what they paid. Now, I love all my students. I'm happy with all my students, but I only have so much time and energy. And at this point, it is much more effective for me, cost effective for me to convert a student versus 7 students at the same amount. It's just much easier. It's better for the student. They have a better student experience. And that is something that you need to consider when you're pricing. And finally, once I went through all that, it just was a no-brainer. It was like time to raise the prices, and I feel great about it. Freelancers, let's talk. Here's the thing. I've been a freelancer. I have never really enjoyed it. I've never been a fan of freelancing. So I will honestly admit that. However, I'm very grateful and thankful for freelancing because it enabled me to eat and to figure out these other things that I liked more. And I wanted to share some lessons that I've learned and also that I've observed from other people who are doing very well as freelancers, who really enjoy it. And I think that it's important for you to think about when it comes to pricing and what you should do. Now, the first thing is you need to always actively pitch higher paying clients. Do not settle for $75 clients. There is so much content that has to be created that people don't want to be creating or don't have the time to create that you could be doing. Because you're already clear on what you're bringing to the clients that you serve, you know what is the minimum amount you're willing to be paid and the type of time and energy that you're willing to put into said projects. So make sure that you're always pitching for more. Do not settle. I have worked for $15 a post before back in the day, and I'll never forget this because it was so much work, actually. It pissed me off. You know those listicles like 20 reasons why you should blah, 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 or 20 amazing gifts for blah, blah, blah. Those are hard posts to do, actually, especially if it's 20, especially if you're not fast. I'm really fast now, so I could probably do them very, very quickly, but they still take time. They're more than an hour, and I was getting paid $15 for a post. I'll never forget this. And I was thankful because I did the work, and thank you for hiring me to do that. But there's just a point where you just have to be like, no. Actually, I need to share this story of how I got paid $100 to edit a book. And to this day, this is my most painful business decision. But I'm so glad that I did this. I'm so glad I made this mistake. So here's the thing. People will let you make mistakes with your pricing when it benefits them. Always. So you have to be very vigilant. And when I first quit my job in 2015, or at the end of 2015, I went to Australia and I was there for 2 months. And then I was like, oh crap, I have to get work lined up before I get back. So I was like pitching for work and that kind of thing. And one person had a book that they needed edited. And at the time, I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. How much are you going to pay me? They're like, oh, I'm going to pay you $100 to edit the book. It's digital. Now, here's the thing. This book actually ended up being a highly technical book. It had a lot of pages. It was just crazy. And by the time I was done, I went way over the deadline. I was pissed off, but it was so bad. It was funny. Like, it was just funny. I was just like, I cannot believe I said yes to this project. And they even pitched this price without blinking an eye. And I learned a lesson from that. The first one is, never again will I not ask the scope of work, how many pages, like just researching what goes into editing a book, what people really should be paid. That project was $1,000 project minimum. And I said yes to $100. So I don't want you to think that I'm talking at you about this topic. I have done it. I have done it, and I don't want you to repeat my mistakes. Don't feel like there are no other options out there. So the other thing is, now that you are actively always looking for higher paying clients, you have a minimum amount that they're always going to pay you for certain projects and the scope of work that you're willing to do. Do not ever do hourly work. You will get nickeled and dimed. And by that, what I mean is, you might be contracted to do 20 hours worth of work, but you're able to do it in 7, and you could be working with other clients or working on other client-based work the other 13 hours. Do not do hourly work. I'm starting to get pissed off at these people dropping this stuff above my head. Anywho, so do not do hourly work. Always be onboarding. So always be onboarding clients. This is hard because energetically, always onboarding is a lot of work. It's very tiring. But if you're not onboarding, there's going to be a point where you're like, I don't have enough work. So always be onboarding. Love your clients, but don't get too attached. You want to be comfortable letting them go. If you're too attached to them and they're underpaying you, or you just have these other opportunities out there, you're going to be pissed off. So love them, but you can leave them. There's a song about that, but anyway. Build passive income into your business revenue stream. I cannot emphasize this one actually enough, especially because everyone has access to the internet. There's no reason why you can't build passive income into your business. The best time to start that is now. It's going to take 6 months to a year, most likely a year, to really get it to be consistent. You'll be able to make the money probably quickly, but to get consistent earnings and grow the amount, it'll take a year. And I know that from my experience doing it. But I'm going to say, being able to say no to things because I know of other monies coming in based on my own services, projects, things like that I'm selling, it's been amazing. So currently I've actually flipped my earnings. So before I was doing like freelancing and side hustles, and I got some affiliate income and like stuff like that. Now I get paid with ebooks, my event, Money on the Mountain, course sales, affiliates, a little splash of side hustles, because I am on a team with a friend who runs some marketing teams, and that's super easy. And I'm actually phasing that out. It looks like either end of August, end of September, like it's basically almost done. So I know that I have this income coming in. I can say no to things because I have like predictable money coming in, and that amount is growing. So in July, I made $4,200 in passive income, or income basically related to things that I personally sell. Obviously, I'm pushing hard to make more than that each month. So yeah. because that is not enough. I feel I want to make as much as possible, especially because it's online income. But if I were to stay at $4,200, that's $50,000 a year. That's actually a pretty decent, for most people, that's a pretty decent amount to live on, $50,000 a year. So just saying. Don't apologize for your pricing. I think a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm so sorry I charged. You're not sorry. You got to eat. Do not be sorry for the pricing that you've set. Do not apologize. The word apology connected to your pricing should not happen. Do not do it. You should always be working to attract the clients and projects that pay money. Finally, understand what you bring to your clients, your expertise, your professionalism, and your knowledge, and what is your upsell. What are the things that you can do within what you already provide that also could be an upsell? So that's something to think about as well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Michelle is Money Hungry. I apologize for the coughing and, of course, the noise from my lovely neighbor. I can't wait until he's done with this project. It's getting my day. It's making me crazy. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and like, and let people know about this show, Michelle is Money Hungry. Again, the scholarships for Money on the Mountain are available now. The application period for this first round of scholarships ends on Saturday of this week. That is Saturday, August 10th. I hope you're having a great day. Take care. Bye.